All right, YouTube. It's me again. I told you guys that I'd be making videos as I had to do maintenance to my 2008 Chevy Avalanche. I'm now going to do a real quick video. Shouldn't take me long to do this. It's a tune-up. I'm not going to change the wires on this tune-up, even though I know I probably need to. It's over 100,000 miles. But if the wires are in good shape, I'm not going to change them. In this video, I've already started one side, and the reason why I'm shooting it after I've already started one side is for time management, and just the fact that I can't hold my phone and torque a spark plug or get a spark plug boot off at the same time. So starting off, you're going to need a 5/8 socket. See that? It's a spark plug socket. This is going to make it really good and really easy, because the spark plug socket, you could actually use a regular socket, but the spark plug socket actually grips the end of the spark plug. There's a little rubber ring in there. You can't really see it, but it grips the end of the spark plug so you don't drop it. I don't really have any fancy tools. I have like a little extension on there. This comes in handy. It's not a real long extension at all. It's going to come in handy, guys. Please trust me on this. Get your small extension. You will need an extension on this job, because where these plugs are at, they're easy to get to but hard to turn. So the extension comes in handy to give you a little leverage on them. The wrench that I'm using is just a little small makeshift wrench. I mean, nothing spectacular. This is the only one that fits that drive that I had, so I didn't feel like going to the store to get another wrench or an adapter, because I couldn't find my other adapter. So this is what I'm using. You're also going to need a spark plug gauge. OEM states that you should have it at 0.04, which is right there. That's about where your factory ones are going to be, 0.04. It can be, I normally gauge mine a little bit, right below or right above it. It doesn't have to be exactly on it, guys. Don't stress about it. Just get it close and you'll be fine. I'm also using these Autolite. I didn't go back with AC Delcos. I'm using these Autolite spark plugs. First time ever doing it. They're the iridium tips. So really important note, when you're gauging these iridium tips or you're adjusting the ends of the spark plug, they're real delicate. They're the actual tip on the inside. So when you're adjusting it, be very careful, because you can damage that iridium tip. All right, they're not like the copper tips. To adjust them, I'm just using some vice grips. I'm just going to grip it. These are the old spark plugs. Don't pay attention to this. This is how I lay them out. This is going to be in order according to my engine block looking at it. So when I take out the other side I'm going to lay it just like this. So that way, and I'll show you why I do it, because when I start to have issues, because a certain code that it's throwing this P01 something something code. I can't think of the name of the code. I had it written down, but I forgot where it was at. And basically, it's going to say a valve or a lifter issue. This is really common with these Chevy Avalanches, guys. I would suggest the first thing you do, because mine was missing. It was idling really rough, and when I brought it up to speed, it operated just fine. But it's just when I would sit there, it would kind of give like a little sound every now and then. Not like a full out backfire, but it was a miss. You'll be able to tell what it is when you feel it. Trust me, guys. So the first thing you want to do when you get that is you want to make sure you don't have very many vacuum lines. You want to check your vacuum lines, make sure there's no leak. They usually give like a little hissing sound, like a sucking sound, like a when you turn your motor on, you'll hear it. Work from cheapest to most expensive. So I checked my vacuum lines, they were fine. My next thing would be, since I've never tuned it up, is a tune-up. Simple, right? About 70 bucks. Always get all 8 plugs. When you tune your car up, always get all the parts. Don't start changing one plug out here, one plug out there. If you're going to change them, change them. So when I change my cables, I'm changing all my cables. Very important, guys. Don't nickel and dime it when you do it. Okay? If this doesn't work, then I know that maybe one of my valves are starting to let too much oil leak on or gas leak onto my plug, which I think on my first valve, this will be on the driver's side, right up front. This looks a little oil fouled right here. So I'm thinking this one might have been my problem, giving me that code, and the one that was might have been missing, because the next one, that's normal wear and tear pretty much, give or take a little bit. Come on, get in focus. That's about normal wear and tear. Jesus Christ, come on. I don't know why this is acting like this. There we go. Normal wear and tear, kind of, sort of. It's 100,000 miles. Then the next one looks like this. A little questionable. Then my next one looks like this. It's a little bit oil or fuel extra, a little extra getting on there. So, and I mark these inside my owner's manual. I'll show you like this, and I label it. See, it mark the date, and I'll label it, and I'll do the other side just the same way. That way, when I go to the mechanic, I can tell them exactly what my plugs looked like, and where they were, and then they can go straight to that instead of all the other extra stuff. So that's a good keynote. This is good to do, good for your knowledge, because it may be something that you could do yourself. All right, so the first thing, you have to locate your spark plugs. They're going to be here. I don't know if you can see that, it's kind of bright. 1, 2, then that one, I haven't put that one in. There'll be 3 right here in this little gap. Then there's another one way back, 4. All right, these things up top right here, these are your coil packs up top, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, and what I do, a lot of people don't do it, but what I do is I take the whole thing off. So this actually attaches here. See this? This is the boot, and this is the end that goes to your coil pack. So this actually goes up onto your coil pack, and this actually goes, this is the boot that goes onto your spark plug. All right. So I just loosen this up by hand. You just kind of wiggle it and get it off of there. You wiggle it, boom, 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 pull it off, get that loose, and then you work on your boot down here, and that helps conserve your, it helps you take this off without damaging your wire, guys. Get that stuff out the way, because you don't want to keep pulling till you end up breaking the wire here or damaging this boot. All right, these are very hard to take off. Don't get discouraged. I would suggest that you get a plug puller or a boot puller. I'm just using a pair of fishing pliers and my hand, and I'm gonna show you the hand that I was taking the plugs out. Yeah, so the gloves that I'm using kind of got ripped. I mean, it takes some muscle the first time you do this. It takes some muscle the first time you do it. So basically, like I said, you're going to unplug here, and then you're gonna just reach down in there. Come on, you focus. You're gonna reach down in there where you see this at. You're gonna get it as far as you can get it, grip it, or if you have a plug puller, use a plug puller, grip the whole boot, Grip this metal part. Don't pull on this rubber. Don't do that. You're gonna break it. Pull on the metal. It's gonna be tough, guys. It's gonna feel like it's not gonna move. Trust me, it's gonna feel like it's not gonna move. I can't say that enough. Pull it and get it out, and then it's gonna expose the plug. It's gonna expose the plug, which is right there. See it right there? It's gonna expose that. Then you just take your wrench. I would suggest by hand sliding this piece on first, getting it snug, and then adding the wrench right on top. And then if you're facing your vehicle, here's a little helpful tip. If you're facing your vehicle like this, on this side, it's lefty loosey, righty tighty. So you're gonna crank the wrench away. You're gonna crank the wrench away from the truck. Now on this side, it's gonna be the opposite. On the passenger side, you're gonna crank the wrench towards the truck to loosen it. All right. Again, these spark plugs are in tight if you've never tuned it up. So they're probably in there with a torque wrench. It's gonna be tough. You're gonna feel like you're gonna break something. Get in there, make sure your socket gets a good fit, and pull and put some weight behind it. I'm actually using this little step stool right here so I can get up in there and kind of use my weight to pull back down. So another helpful tip, that first plug on this side, on your driver's side, is going to sit right here. You can see it right there. I don't know if you see it down in there. All right. You're going to see this thing here right next to it. This little wire right here. Right here. Just go ahead and take that off because you don't want to damage that wire. All right. You don't want to damage that wire. Just take it off. It's a little clip. Just unclip it, move it back, and get that plug out right here. Get that first plug out right there. All right. Trust me. You'll thank me. You don't want to damage anything else. Okay. Okay. So, again, what I do is I change one full side out first. I take all one side out first, line them up, keep them in order. Not that it really matters, so if you get them out of order, it doesn't matter. But that's just what I do. I get them in order. Then I start to put the replacement plugs in. And each plug I take out, I gauge it to see exactly what the OEM specifications were. And I set my new plug to the OEM specifications. And I'll show you real quick how to do that. If I can get mine. So here's the new plug, one of the new plugs, real quick. One of the new plugs. And basically I'm going to take this tool here. I don't have anybody to hold my camera for me, guys. I'm knocking this out by myself. And I'm going to, maybe I can, hold on. All right. So I take that tool and I run it all the way until it stops in the gap. Right? I'm having focus issues. When it stops, I'll look at the top. I look at the top, and that's a little bit further than 040. So I'm gonna take my pliers, grip it around the nut, and I'm gonna grip it tight with my hand, and I'm gonna tap it down to right around close to 040. Just to get a little bit closer, it's a little bit over. I'd rather it a little bit under, like a millimeter under than a little millimeter over. All right. Be very careful with this thing. And all right, so that's going to conclude my video. I really couldn't get too in depth, guys, because I'm filming it by myself, and it's a little bit more more of a two-handed job than a one-handed job. No homo, no pun intended. But trust me, you want to go through this first, change your spark plugs out first, then go back, change your wires if you're still having issues. If you're 100,000 miles, you need to do it anyway. All right, if you've never changed your spark plugs out, change them. Trust me, it's going to probably give you a little bit better gas mileage, a little bit more fire, a little bit more pep in your motor. A lot of people change these coil packs out eventually. I'm not doing that. I'm more of a fix it as it shows up type of guy. I'm just really proactive on the regular maintenance stuff, which is, I guess spark plugs would be regular maintenance. Keynote, people are going to tell you, go back with AC Delco, which I agree. I'm just using auto lights because, I don't know, I'm just using auto lights. I don't know why, I'm just trying it. I mean, when I looked them up, they weren't really any different than the AC Delcos at all. They actually ended up having a better life, a longer lifespan than the AC Delcos. I guess we're going to see. If I have any issues, I will post it in the comments, or I will make a quick short video if I have any issues, letting you guys know, stay away from it. If you guys have any questions, I do answer questions within a day or two, sometimes right when you post it. If I have my phone in my hand, I answer it. And that's just it, guys. Again, take your time, do the job right the first time, don't cut corners. People are going to tell you this spark plug is better than that spark plug, which is true, and to some extent. I would say I would use, if it's not AC Delco, I would only go maybe a step underneath AC Delco. Okay, don't go too far into the cheap. Don't buy the little cheap copper ones anymore. Get iridium or platinum coated spark plugs to put back in your vehicle. Okay. Again, if you have any questions, just hit me up in the comments. I'm just fixing my truck as things pop up. I'm posting videos of it. I want to help people out. I'm not doing this for like internet fame or anything like that. So if I missed anything, or if I'm, was politically incorrect, I apologize. But I'm not a Hollywood type guy. Hey, I'm from the South. I just say it how it is, and that's it. So until my next video, see you later, guys. Hope it helps you.